Cubs are, like you said, they've run a gauntlet. They're 17-12, but their record is all based on teams that they've played that are all above 500, or last year's playoff teams, or teams most everyone picks to make the playoffs. So it's kind of amazing what they've accomplished. A lot of people are saying, and I myself included, is if they got through the month of April with around 500, that would be a successful start to the season. And they're 5 games over at this point. So very remarkable, impressive. What's even more impressive is that they're getting this done with a terrible bullpen that has blown many leads, but it hasn't cost them too many wins. They also have a depleted rotation, with the loss of Justin Steele. They really haven't missed a beat until this past weekend when the Phillies came to town and took 2 out of 3. And that was kind of a reckoning. Like, things kind of caught up with them. It was also interesting. A lot of off the field stuff came out over the weekend as well with the Phillies in town. I believe it was Patrick Mooney from The Athletic interviewed Bryce Harper, who revealed that back in his famous free agency before the 2019 season, the Cubs indeed were his number one choice to spend the rest of his career on the north side of Chicago. I'm sure you remember, we were kind of reading tea leaves and social media posts where he would post pictures of his dog, which just happened to be named Wrigley. So we're reading into that. Oh, he wants to come to the Cubs. His childhood best friend is Chris Bryant. It was exactly the case. Like, everything. I don't remember if you bought into that or were making fun of me for reading into that, but I won't accuse you of that because I don't remember, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Probably, I think it was a little bit of both,
okay.
Like saying all signs point to yes, but come on, is it Theo at the Starbucks again? Oh, wait, he actually was there.
You love that. You'll never get over that.
Since I got called out on it by the actual person, I will never let it go. I will never. It'll be ingrained in my memory forever. I still do not apologize to you, sir.
I just love that the guy actually sought you and us out to demand an apology. Like, I'm not sure how we got on your radar, sir, but sorry, no apology here. But
anyway,
who should be apologizing is Tom Ricketts. Again, and this is just another example of his cheapness has cost the Cubs. Tom Ricketts was actually interviewed a couple weeks ago, and somehow Bryce Harper came up, and he said yes, he and Theo had long discussions about if they should sign Bryce Harper before the 2019 season, before he actually did sign a 13-year, $330 million deal. Takes him through the 2031 season. So those numbers actually sound pretty cheap at this point compared to everything that's happening now. Would have been a bargain. The bigger question is, what would that have done for the 2019 Cubs, 2020 Cubs? After the 2018 season, Theo famously came out and said the Cubs offense was broken. They didn't understand what was happening after coming off 3 consecutive NLCS appearances and a World Series. By 2018, the offense was broken, and how their calculus didn't include the idea that Bryce Harper might be a solution to that broken offense, I don't know. Clearly, the concern was the contract, the amount of money that they were going to have to spend, and the years committed to. The years is interesting, and it was certainly mind-boggling at the time. 13 years. I don't remember if anyone had signed a longer deal at that point. That only takes him to his age 38 season. So it's not as outrageous as it sounded at the time. All the contracts or long-term deals we're talking about now take players into their 40s.
Yep.
So signing Bryce Harper when he was 26 years old for $330 million would have been a bargain. And I always bring up the sliding doors of history, how things could have changed, like what that would have done for the Cubs in 2019 and beyond is just, it's tough to even think about, like what could have happened instead of their epic failures through those years. So I don't know, we wouldn't even have Kyle Tucker today if Bryce Harper was in the outfield. So that's part of it. But I think the main benefits of having Bryce Harper in those years is what could have been with those 2019 and 2020, 21 teams that failed. So just a frustrating, consistent piece of news, I guess, filling in parts of history that show you, this is the path the Cubs have been on for a long time. The things I've been railing against for the last couple years, several years. That started well before the pandemic, well before biblical losses seemed to have kicked off the cheapness of Ricketts. The signs were there before, and we didn't necessarily know about them. I would also, with this news, suggest that may have been the breaking point for Theo Epstein. And when he knew his boss was not going to give him the resources he needed to go over the top to win another World Series, he may have decided, I'm out. I don't need to do this if my boss isn't as committed to this as I am. And that's speculation, but I think there's some logic behind it. As he did abruptly quit the next year, a year before his 10-year deal was up. So I don't know. I think that idea is plausible, at least, and it's just frustrating and annoying and consistent, I guess, that this is all comes down to Ricketts and what he is willing to spend. Also, just thinking, forward from this, I think it's just another check in the negative category on what the possibilities are for the Cubs to sign Kyle Tucker long term.
None.
Yeah, I mean, the money's there, as we talk about every time. He is the player. He is doing this right in front of everyone, right in front of Tom Ricketts' face, which is funny. I just saw a thing on social media where people are isolating photos of Ricketts in the front row while Kyle Tucker's up to bat. And you just see him like side by side, like, make a decision, boys. Let's do this or get the fuck out. So it's a harbinger of more negativity, I fear.
Word Hole Media.